Football. I truly don't know where I'd be without it. Ever since I was a little kid, I still remember my first football practice. I was around 5 years old, starting the first grade. Most importantly, I remember starting football, and that's where it all began. I remember the first practice I went against this guy by the name of D. Montego, and I got my life rocked by this man. I didn't know what to do. The coach blew the whistle. He just rocked my world, just decapitated my head, man. It was bad. He just annihilated my tail. And that was my introduction to football. It was a bad introduction. I didn't know I would ever be good, but one thing that my pops always told me was that the pads would protect me. So at the end of the day, I had to go to school that next day in embarrassment, knowing that this man just annihilated me in front of my moms, in front of my pops, in front of my brother. And I knew later on that day I had to redeem myself. So when I went back out there, I just remember the pads would protect me. The pads would protect me. The pads would protect me. And when I got back on that field, I rocked that man. It was like a Cinderella story. They carried me off the field on their shoulders. But on March 25th, 2015, my life would change. The pads didn't protect me. They didn't carry me off the field on their shoulders, but on that day, it felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders instead. I tore my ACL and partial meniscus tear in preparation of a 7-on-7 tournament that I would never get to see. So that road, I pushed myself as hard as I could. The pads would protect me, the pads would protect me, and I was heartbroken by the pads didn't protect me. So I ended up starting my senior year. I had around 2 scholarship offers from D1 schools. Within that season, I ended up getting 4 to 5 more scholarship offers. I ended my high school career with 6 scholarship offers. Ended up here at Murray State University, and I really don't know how I got here. They came at the last minute, but thank God that I did. So when I got here on this campus, I was like, man, I have a prime opportunity to start as a freshman. I have a prime opportunity. And what happened was I began to get that mentality back that the pads would protect me, the pads would protect me, the pads would protect me. So when I got on this campus, nobody could tell me anything. I was mad at the world. I thought that everybody was out to get me. Coming from Birmingham, Alabama, it was like crabs in the barrel. So really at the end of the day, I just thought somebody was being nice to me because they wanted something from me, or they were being nice to me because they wanted me to let my guard down long enough so that they could overstep me. But I had to realize that I was in what you would call the friendliest town in America, man. That's what they call Murray, Kentucky. And I still wasn't trying to hear it. It was me and football against the world. Like, I remember my relationship with Jesus Christ would be predicated on how good I would be on the football field. So if I had a bad game, I was at odds with God. I would make deals with God. So in high school, I would be like, if I did X, Y, and Z from Monday to Thursday, Friday, you got to bless me on the field. Or in college, if I did X, Y, and Z from Monday through Friday, you got to bless me on the field Saturday. My second week of football camp at Murray State University, I was around 3rd string at the time out of 5 safeties. On this 30-yard line, I jumped over a pile of football players. And I landed on my right knee. I tore my ACL, MCL, LCL, and partial meniscus tear. And that was when I began to question my whole existence as an individual. Because at that time, the pads still didn't protect me. It didn't protect me from life off the field, and it really didn't protect me on the field as well. It was something that was unavoidable, and I felt like my whole life was in shambles. I never knew what to do when I would be losing in life and in football, because growing up, I knew that if I would lose in life, I could make up for it on the field, and I could change my identity in between those lines. Because in life, if I would find myself on the sidelines and it would be passing me by, as a football player, people really didn't care. They would put me inside that box and it was comfortable there. They laid out a pallet for me. They gave me pillows. They would give me scholarships. They would give me, pats on the backs. They would give me good jobs. I would gain touchdowns, and they would give me applause in front of the crowd. But when the applause stopped, when those claps stopped, when people stopped calling me and wanting to give me something for what I could offer to them, and I felt like I couldn't offer anything, nobody was there. I found myself in a real dark place. But I ended up pushing because I didn't want to let go of football. I couldn't let go of football. The reason why I was here was not to be a student, it was to be an athlete. So really it was interchangeable. They would tell me that I was an athlete student instead of a student athlete. They never said it verbally, but through the actions, I knew what I came here for. My last time playing football was in the spring of 2018. So in that spring game, I had 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 4 tackles, and 3 pass breakups. Best game I ever played in my life. And it still wasn't enough. And at that point, I felt satisfied because I gave it all that I had. I beat the odds. I did everything that I knew to do to make it back on the field. But I was at a good place with life because I came to terms with God. And I said, God, if I got everything taken away from me, I know I still have you. Because at the end of the day, God never forsaken me. He never left me. He always was there in the midst of my trials and turmoils, and he would always make sure that I had a place to lay my head and a place for me to eat. The athlete that believes in the method of go hard or go home, saying, I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for the ball, or if it wasn't for the track, or if it wasn't for the water. I don't know where I'd be in life. This is for you. Do you know who you are beyond the sport or the game? Because the game that you play, it's always a game behind the game. So actually you're getting played if you don't know how to play the game. I woke up one morning and a guy by the name of Jeremy Towns, he played in the NFL and he went on to get his doctor's degree. He told me one time, he said, what would it look like for you to wake up every single day and live your life like you're playing for the championship? So right now, in the foundation of the sport that you're playing, how could you maximize the opportunity that you have right now for everything to work inside of your favor? What can you do right now to set yourself up for a prime opportunity after the game? Because you cannot play the game forever.